We are back with a Fox News alert. Communist China sending mixed messages on President Trump's COVID-19 diagnosis. While Chinese President Xi Jinping wishes our president and First Lady a fast recovery. In a now deleted tweet, the editor-in-chief of one of China's state-run media outlets, there are no other kind in China, mocked President Trump, claiming he, quote, paid the price for his gamble to play down COVID-19. Let's bring in Fox News senior strategic analyst and retired four-star general, Jack Keane. General, thank you so much. It's pretty rich for the Communist Chinese to be talking about playing down a virus that they beset on the rest of the world. State-owned media don't say things independently. What is the Chinese saying, and how should we react to it?
Well, first of all, I mean, there is an international protocol that's widely accepted among leaders of the world. When one of them is having a challenge like our president has, they're going to reach out with a degree of civility and support for the president and his wife, the First Lady. All that said, because President Trump has been unrelenting as a world leader in identifying, I think accurately so, that China and its leader, President Xi, let a localized epidemic spread into a world pandemic because he permitted those international flights to come out of Wuhan City and Hubei province, and we have held them accountable. And now there's a broad coalition of support for that same thought process. And I also believe it's been a catalyst for other countries around the world, Pete, to kind of take a hard look at their relationship with the Chinese Communist Party and reassess it in terms of what their goals are and what their own national interests are. And that reassessment has taken place. And that's why you see Secretary Pompeo going around the world as much as he is, and Secretary of Defense Esper as well. They are continuously talking about this hostile nation, China, and imposing its will on the world writ large. And now I think we're in a position here that we've not been before in establishing a coalition and eventually a strategy with other world leaders on how to cope with this reality.
But, General, would that change in a Biden administration? It doesn't seem there's been any reassessment there. He calls them a competitor. Would they be greeted with a much different world were that to happen?
Pete, I don't get involved in the politics of this. The reality is China wants to dominate and control their region, and they have been about that now for about 15 years, and they've had a significant
General,
amount of
I don't want to get political
in terms of bullying and intimidating. And as a result of that success, they also want to get up. They also want to dominate the world and replace the United States as a leader in the world. So that is not going to change regardless of who is president. Those are very harsh realities. We have not faced a threat like this since the Soviet Union. It's been 30 years almost since the Soviet Union collapsed. And we dealt with that threat for 40 years. We are going to deal with the threat of China also for multiple generations.
General, we know you speak with the president frequently. Have you had a chance to talk to him, get an assessment, and sort of a corollary to that? As you think in a moment like this, how do you anticipate what adversaries may attempt to do as they view our system and a president who's at Walter Reed?
Well, the president doesn't surprise me at all in dealing with COVID. He's vigorous. He's maintaining his duties. He's got a very strong work ethic. I'm not surprised by that at all. And certainly, I think we all appreciate the optimism that his doctors are telling us that he's doing well and he's improving and he's not out of the woods yet, as we all know what COVID does. Yes, our adversaries, certainly our national command authority, our command and control, our national security apparatus, that stays intact. It's not in crisis. It's not threatened by this. Our diplomatic post of man, the military is deployed and operating around the world on the same alert status it always is, and our command and control is effective, and should be no concern there. But adversaries, as you mentioned, Pete, will take advantage of this. One of the things I'm convinced they'll do, because they're already doing it, that is undermine our democracy, undermine the people's trust and confidence in it by spreading false stories and disinformation, which they've been working on for months leading up to the election. And who's doing that? China is doing it, Russia, and also Iran. and they will probably try to change their stories a little bit. Blame the president for having COVID himself, emphasize again the United States problems associated with COVID, blame the United States for much of the problem dealing with COVID worldwide. They'll use that kind of theme to create mistrust in the American people and his confidence in our government. But the people see through that. They're not buying into that. The reality is we're kind of used to this game that our adversaries are playing in the information influence business.
Yeah, just like we've become, unfortunately, used to the game a lot of the press corps plays too, nitpicking in what doesn't appear to be all that genuine of a way. General Jack Keane, thank you so much for your insight this morning. We appreciate it.
Yeah, good talking to you.